Lizzie. So today I'm going to address somewhat of a controversial topic. I've talked about a lot that bipolar is genetic and it's passed down biologically through DNA in someone's family. For me, bipolar is heavily on my mom's side of the family. So my mom's grandma, my great-grandma had bipolar disorder. My mom's sister has bipolar disorder. I have bipolar disorder, and then my cousin's daughter was also recently diagnosed. For every biological child of a parent with bipolar, every kid has a 1 in 4 chance of also getting bipolar disorder. Every single kid has a 25% chance of also being bipolar. The question that I do get asked quite a bit online is, do you want to have biological children knowing that bipolar can pass onto your child? When I was diagnosed with bipolar and amidst all the chaos and pain that I was going through, I decided I will not have any biological children. That was like the first year of my illness. I said never, never, ever, ever will I risk passing this pain on to a biological child. Over the next year and a half, in 2016, the beginning of 2017, my mind gradually changed on this topic completely. I realized that the reason bipolar was so painful and traumatic for me is because I was not diagnosed earlier. I was going through years of episodes unmedicated, not knowing I had bipolar. If I knew I was bipolar immediately, I would have been put on the right medications and I would not have been cycling between manic and depression episodes for 4 years. Basically, I'm extremely confident that I would be able to catch the bipolar disorder in my child when they're a teenager, and I would be able to get them on the right medication, get to a diagnosis extremely early on, rather than they're finding this out in their 20s. Being in a severe depression episode for a year and a half was so traumatic, but I was being put on antidepressants instead of mood stabilizers and antipsychotics. If I'd known I was bipolar at the beginning of a depression episode, I could have been put on the proper medication and not gone through that for a year and a half. There's actually objective indicators you can see in children growing up that make it likely that they will develop bipolar. Even infants, they say that bipolar people as babies are very colicky and won't stop crying, which was me. And there's other things that come out in adolescence and as teenagers. And so for me, I will be looking out for any red flags that bipolar could be developing. And if they went into a manic or depression episode, I would immediately know and be able to get them on the right medication. And the other thing that's really, really cool is that medication that works on a biological family member is also more likely to work on other people in the family. So for me, my mom's sister cut off the whole family, so I can't talk to her and ask what medications worked on her. But if my child has bipolar, I will have the list of meds that don't work on me, and so they won't have to go through like a 2-year process of like trial and error to figure out what medications work. They can just go on Lamictal and Zyprexa and Seroquel and get rid of all of their symptoms. The brain damage that happens in bipolar is because of being in episodes. So if you are not in episodes, you're not going to deal with the brain damage, you're not going to deal with the memory loss, you're not going to have all of these thoughts of wanting to end your life. And so the early diagnosis and early medication, early treatment that will happen if I have a child with bipolar will eliminate all of the traumatic and awful and painful parts. And I'm not saying it won't be hard. I think that even if you're on the right medication, sometimes you do have breakthrough symptoms. And so I think there definitely will be pain that they'll experience in life. But I'll be the absolute perfect mom in helping them process that and work through it and heal. I'll know every single emotion that they're feeling and going through. One of the most awful parts of being diagnosed with bipolar, which is why I started my YouTube videos on it, is I felt completely alone. I didn't know anyone with bipolar. I didn't understand the symptoms. Therapy wasn't in depth enough to help me in the ways I needed to heal. And so having me in their life who understands every emotion they're going through it gets rid of the pain of isolation and the pain of not being understood. I'll be here to help guide them through life. The parts of bipolar that exist even when you're not in an episode or when you're medicated are extreme creativity, empathy, sensitivity, hyper-religiosity. I just think that there are parts of bipolar that are extremely positive and that benefit everyone around you and make everyone a better person because of the perspective of how a bipolar person sees the world. Bipolar in this century is easily treatable, and in the next few decades, when I have children and grandchildren, the treatments are going to be even better. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!